Hello and welcome, YouTube friends. Today is Saturday, 6th of January 2024. And it is, I'm telling you my friends, mighty cold. The time is, I'm not sure, it's a little, maybe 1:45, maybe 08:45 or something in the morning. And the temperature is very close to minus 10 degrees Celsius. So this is way too cold for my taste. And like I probably mentioned before, that I'm not a big fan of heat either. I'm kind of in the middle kind of guy, you know. But this freezing weather is too much for me. So, where are we going today? Nowhere in particular. We're in the neighborhood called Nørrebro in Copenhagen. And we're right now passing through a very famous cemetery. One of my earlier walks before I started speaking on my tours. I took a little walk in here. I have planned today we're just gonna pass through it quickly, but I have planned to come back here, research properly, because there are a lot of famous people buried here. It's a famous cemetery, and especially, well, now in the winter, if you like winter, it's pretty, but I prefer, maybe spring or autumn. But anyways, I'm trying to find out how to research this cemetery better, because when I do a walking tour in here, I would like to be better prepared. Maybe even see if I can invite somebody who knows it much better than I do to take a walk with me. But we'll see. It will happen, but when it happens, or if I decide to research everything myself or invite somebody, the details I'm not sure about yet, but it will happen at some point. Alrighty, yes, but today we're just passing through it. Today we're just, we're heading nowhere in particular, but we're gonna stay in the neighborhood of Nørrebro and just take a little random-ish walk. I have an idea where we're going, but it's not a particular. They are more regular neighborhoods, so it's not like we're gonna see anything very touristy today. Oh man, my fingers are freezing. It's hard to operate my camera with gloves on, so minus 10 degrees Celsius and no gloves. Ooh. Yeah. Yeah, because I could just do, like, the first time I did a tour here in the cemetery before I started speaking, it was more like a improvised tour. And I remember thinking, I need to do this properly at some point. Find all the famous people here, or maybe not all of them, but pick some out. And even prepare a little story about each of them, and also know a bit more of the history of this cemetery. But it'll take me some hours to research, and I'm a bit busy work-wise these days, so I haven't had the time. That's why I was thinking about maybe see through my network if I can find somebody who's already an expert, or maybe not an expert, but somebody who knows more than I do, to join me on a little tour. But it's a very popular spot as well. I mean, in the winter, of course, people stay indoors mostly. But in the summertime, it's like a park almost too. When people respect, of course, all the places that people are buried, but there are also spots in the cemetery that is more like a park, where people hang out a bit and sunbathe and stuff like that in the summertime. Hang on guys, I don't want to get run over. I think we can venture out now. Alright, this street that we are walking down now, I think I have walked it on a much earlier tour as well. Well, it's still morning now and cold, so there's not so many people here now, but usually there are a lot of people here because it's kind of a, what should we call it? I sometimes joke and call it hipster street. A lot of cool independent shops here. It's a great bakery over here, for example. And there are clothing stores, records, record stores, coffee shops, restaurants, all sorts of stuff that's... They're not chains, if you know what I mean. They're little independent stuff. So a lot of cool young people hanging out here a lot. A good liquor store here as well, and a wine bar, and there's a chocolate chair here. It's closed now, so there's a place where they make from scratch caramels and stuff like that too. There's a lot of artisanal stuff. Here's the liquor store I was telling you about. Still Christmas decorations, huh? Maybe they're just early for next year. Maybe, I don't know, 10 years ago or something. This street used to be a bit dangerous. This was the street where all the drug dealers hung out. So there's violence here and drugs obviously and stuff like that. And that meant that all these little shops on the ground floor, all the way through the street, they were empty and quite cheap because nobody dared be here, live here and have shops here. But somehow it started anyways. Because it was cheap, a lot of young people, startups with weird ideas, could afford it. And slowly, over the years, it has changed, no more drug dealers and a lot of hip young people instead, so that's pretty cool. This is the place that makes the caramels. Oh, this is a bistro that I really enjoy. Oh yeah, and there's gonna be a lot of sniffing from me today because of the cold, so I really apologize about that, guys, but yeah, it is what it is. Oh yeah. Damn, my fingers are cold. craft beer shop as well. Wine place. There used to be... Oh, the sign is missing, but here is... This is gonna sound weird, but it's actually really delicious. It's a place that makes only porridge. Different kinds of porridge, like oatmeal and other different kinds of porridge, and all the toppings that make themselves from scratch. And there's no instant porridge or stuff in there. It's all, homemade and stuff. It's really, really delicious. In the beginning I was like, what? Do I want to go out to eat porridge? No. But then I tried it and I was wrong. It's delicious. Okay, I have to be careful not getting hurt here. It's really slippery, icy. Alright, got through it. This park here usually also is teeming with people, but it's morning and winter, so people are probably still back in bed. I can't blame them. Even the playground is empty. This is the thing about living in the north, that outside in the winter time it always seems kind of empty. But as soon as the first signs of spring shows up, everybody's outside. It's like you've been cooped up, you've been hibernating in the dark and the cold for so long. As soon as it's not freezing anymore and there's a sign of sunshine, whoosh, people are outside, soaking it all up. This park here though, the drug dealers I talked about earlier, few sometimes has receded to the park. And it's really weird because especially in the summertime, there are a lot of families and friends hanging out here, and somehow these drug dealers, not a lot left, few, but there's never any, as far as I know, no drama really. So yeah, I don't know. I guess Denmark is well, compared to other countries, it's very, very safe here. There's rarely any serious violence going on. I personally live in a place where there are also drug dealers on the street, and I have never experienced anything scary at all, never. It's a place where I live that if you hear that name and you're not from here, people always think the worst. But I've been living there for a while now, and like I said, I've never experienced anything scary. I think it's a cool and diverse place. Not that I condone drug dealers, by far, I do not. But I mean, yeah, people are afraid of violence when drug dealers are around, and I've not experienced any, at least. I'm not saying it's not there, but I've never not felt safe. Of course, you can go to the touristy parts of Copenhagen, where I've taken you guys a few times also. At least some of the places. We still need to go on a few places. We can do that spring, summer. But probably no drug dealers there. I don't know why I started talking about drug dealers all of a sudden. Anyways. Oh, man. Now, I don't want to jinx it, but I have not yet been ill this season, everybody of my friends at work, feverish, coughing, sneezing. So far, I've been spared. So I'm actually trying to get a little ahead with my filming. So I'm like 2-3 weeks ahead. That's why if you see the shoot dates on my videos when I publish them that they are 2-3 weeks old, it's because I try to be ahead. Because if I do get sick, and because it's dark all the time, I don't have a big window to shoot in. So there might be weeks where I'm not able to film. So I always try to be 2-3 weeks ahead, in case I get ill or a blizzard is coming or stuff like that, because then I'm not able to film at all. So yeah. So if you're wondering about the dates, guys, it's because I always try to stay 2-3 weeks ahead. And yet again, I have forgotten to take any pictures for my Instagram. I don't want to get my free hand out of my pocket, that's why, I guess. Oh, it's cold. I wonder sometimes, maybe it's because I know nothing about graffiti, but how do they get up there? Huh. And I guess also for me, January is probably the toughest month to get through, because it's so dark and cold, and the spring seems so far away. When we get to the end of February, I mean, it can still be really cold in March, but you start to see slowly that the light kind of gets back slowly. That helps for me a little bit. I wonder if they're planning to build something new over there. It looks very dilapidated and run down over here. I don't know what the plans are. But this area in Nørrebro, where I myself live, is it used to be a really tough, bad neighborhood, but gentrification started in the inner parts of the neighborhood. There are still a few spots here and there that can be a bit dodgy, but I like it because it's very, very diverse. And a lot of fun stuff happens. A lot of interesting places here. But it used to be maybe not so much this block we're coming up to now, but it used to be a lot of living space for working people. When we went our trip around the lakes, inside the lakes, it used to be, well, back in the olden days, where the real Copenhagen were, and then a lot of the fortification or ramparts, or whatever the English word is for it. And outside used to be fields like where we are now. So when they started building the city out here, I guess it was not very cool to live outside of the city itself. So the homes that were built back then were smaller for working people who came to the cities to find, you know, whatever, jobs, happiness, whatever, from the countryside. But of course, that's hundreds of years ago now. So the city has grown and grown and grown. Yeah, even though I do enjoy walking and, you know, doing the walking tours with you guys, because I really do, I must admit that this time of year it's not as fun as when the weather is warmer. It's a bit tougher to, you know, get out of bed in the morning and go out and film when it's freezing, minus 10 degrees, and when I'm outside like I am now, it's fine, it's good, I'm happy when I come home. But, you know, in the morning, look out of the window, it's snow, the freezing, and you're just like, oh, this is so much easier when the weather's nice. But yeah, that's how it is living in the north. I have to be careful here. Slippery. And yes, us Danes, we are a bit crazy. Like you saw that guy opening his bike. Yes, we still do ride our bikes all the time, even in the winter, even when it's dangerous. Because we're kind of stupid, I guess. I could not imagine not having a bike. I mean, I use my bike every day. Almost every day. And have done so ever since I learned to ride it when I was a kid. I know for some people that's weird that you use cars and stuff, but I mean, as you can see, obviously there are cars here too, but most everybody ride their bikes. Alright, I think, oh man, this is kind of dangerous here. Hang on, where? Okay. I think there's a small park to my left. I think let's go in there, and I think we're gonna end the tour in there. As you can see, there's a damn, it's slippery here. As you can see, there's a big climbing wall here. Goes all the way up. Let me see if I can get a better shot. I have to be really careful. It's really icy here. As you can see, it's, yeah. No, I just want to get a shot of all this graffiti over here, and I think we're going to end the tour over here, guys. Oh, that's a nice mural over here too. Please be patient, I'm walking very carefully. Don't want to get hurt. Yeah. Normally I would zoom in for you guys, but I managed to slip on a little glove because I'm freezing so much, so I can't zoom with these gloves on. Oh. Alrighty, guys. Anyways, thank you for hanging out with me here in the cold. I do appreciate it. And I wish upon you all a great weekend. And hopefully I'll see you all again next week. Bye bye, guys.